Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, this is going to be a reading on Trump VP pick JD Vance. Not the person I expected to be the least likely of the Trump picks because he was too much like Trump. Ha ha ha! Silly me. Now, in my defense, I will say that I said he might be the VP pick next term or even a presidential-like pick. I think it was something like that, but nope. He's going to be this term. I did rewatch the spread. I came up with the Eight of Swords. That's not exactly a resonating yes card. You know what I mean? In center underneath it was the Nine of Swords. But it had the Star card and the Devil card on either side. And I had mentioned that, Trump loves this guy. And he does. Trump loves this guy. But this is going to be a nightmare pick for Trump. Because, I know, for instance, Trump knows that JD Vance will support him and do what he wants because JD Vance wants the same thing Trump wants. But if, JD Vance was the vice president in 2020, in January 2021 when the insurrection happened, JD Vance absolutely would have 25th Amendmented, or earlier, he would have 25th Amendmented Donald Trump out of office so he could be in power. So if Donald Trump were in there and he could be 25th Amendmented out, JD Vance would do it in a second because JD Vance wants Trump's position. And you're just bringing a big shark, just like you, in really close. Eight of Swords. Trump's now stuck with this pick, and it's going to be a nightmare. Again, listening to Bo with the Fifth Column this morning, I took a day off work. I highly recommend that if you take a vacation, take the following day off from work. Don't, come back in and then go to work the next day. My flights got delayed going out of Buffalo and again out of Vegas. Buffalo, we were on the plane when we got delayed. First off, we couldn't get the pilot in there. Once they got the pilot in, we were kind of stuck because the terminal lost power. Then we made it to Vegas, and our connecting flight was delayed by an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's just a long travel day yesterday. Crimea River. And there's the Knight of Swords popping out here. Ba-ding! As I told my wife, hey, it's not like I'm traveling in an ox-covered wagon across the Midwest. Now, I went from Buffalo, New York to Oakland International Airport in, 8 hours? 9 hours? 10 hours? That's easy. That's lovely. That's 3,000 miles in 10 hours. I'll take it. All right, and I'm home and I got to sleep in a little bit and life's good. Got the remnants of my coffee here, and now I'm going to throw on JD Vance. But yeah, JD Vance and Trump are one and the same. Oh, that's what I was going to go with. The advantage of taking the day off is I got to listen to some podcasts I like to listen to, and Bo the Fifth Column was talking about it, and he had an interesting take that probably when they did polling with Republicans, Trump supporters, they love JD Vance. Why? Because he's just like Trump. But that doesn't cover up Trump's weaknesses. It just, gives him more of the same. So it doesn't reach a broader audience. So if they polled Trump supporters who they wanted, yeah, JD Vance is going to be the guy they want because he's the most Trump-like. So let's look at Trump, JD Vance right now, the energy around his selection to VP. Entertainment purposes only. Education purposes only. King of Swords. Okay, so I had the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords here, but now here he is. You've made your choice. You've got JD Vance, the young. This is like the son that he probably wished Don Jr. was. No offense to Don Jr. Crossed with the Page of Cups. And he's kind of like, just a younger version of Trump, which is now interesting because JD Vance originally said that Trump was either a cynical a-hole like Nixon or he was America's World War II German leader with the funny mustache. So, he's made his choice and, JD Vance looked like he's consumed the Kool-Aid from the MAGA cup. Underneath it all is the Eight of Coins. JD Vance is he's just a younger version of Trump. And Trump sees that, and I guess they did their polling, and that's what the MAGA folks want. They want a younger version of Trump as the VP. It makes sense from the people who they're polling, but the people who they're polling aren't exactly known for their intellectual horsepower. In the past, we got the Hermit card. Trump looking for his reality contestant winner. Here's the Apprentice. This is also, by the way, the Apprentice card here. So they had the competition, and he got to choose a winner on that one. I thought it was going to be Marco Rubio. Certainly Marco Rubio's cards with the Lover's card sure seemed to indicate that he was going to be the front runner. Oh, well, my misinterpretation there. But he made his choice. Current situation is the Hanged Man. He's looking at things differently. Is this JD Vance or is this Trump? I get the feeling it's like Trump looking at things differently. I really wonder if the shooting impacted Trump's decision on this. He might have had somebody else. It's funny. I think in my video with Gary, I said whoever whispers the VP's name, the last person to whisper a VP name in Trump's ear is who he's going to select, and then Trump's ear is injured. They got the Hangman here. In a couple major arcana here, got the Hermit, the Hangman. And I had that Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the other one. You're kind of stuck now with this guy. All the good and the bad. The problem, one of the things that JD Vance comes with is quotes that JD Vance said himself about Donald Trump that he's now going to have to backtrack against and say, he didn't mean it or he changed his mind or something like that. You had a pre-Kool-Aid JD Vance and a post-Kool-Aid JD Vance, and it's going to lead to the own attack ads leading up to this election here. Overarching energy is the Two of Swords. Choices to be made. Donald Trump made his choices. I wonder if he, in some ways, I wonder if he regrets this choice. Oh, there's decisions to be made. God, these cards are a little bit confusing here. The less to be there is the Three of Wands. It's like, Trump's made his choice, and now we wait for the election. I just wonder if, Trump almost did an eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's like I think he was down to two people he wanted, and maybe Rubio was the other one. I don't know. We may never know. But there's like a different path to go down here. He might regret taking somebody who's so much like him. The outcome is the Two of Wands, but the choice has been made. There's action to be taken, waiting for your ship to come in. The energy around JD Vance. Picked him. He's drank from the Kool-Aid, did the searching, made his choice. And again, it's almost like the shooting did change Donald Trump's mind. He was on the fence, and then he opted for this guy. It just felt that it was the best person going forward. But it looks like the overarching energy now, the Three of Wands, it starts regressing as he goes to the future. What seemed like a good idea now may not seem like a good idea. Because you're going from the Three of Wands to the Two of Wands. So you're regressing. You're not progressing, you're regressing. I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't know. I don't know what JD Vance could do to make Trump, or maybe even maybe JD Vance is rethinking things here. He's accepted this position, but maybe he's wondering if he's tanked his tanked his political future by doing this. That makes more sense to me. You know, the Two of Swords isn't Trump overthinking it. It's JD Vance starting to overthink it here. Like, wait a minute. Do I want to do this? And the lesson to be learned is the Three of Wands. That, yeah, he took the chance. He accepted it. And then the outcome is the Two of Wands. Planning out your future. Because now what's happened is you've tied your boat, your political future with Donald Trump. Now, for JD Vance's point of view, it makes some sense, right, on a short term. Because if Trump is elected and Trump doesn't serve the full term, JD Vance is now the President of the United States. 39 years old, 40 years old, President of the United States. And given the all-new criminal powers and protections that the President has, Lord knows what he could do. Because he's a smarter version of Trump. You know what I mean? He's not the dumber version. Would he stay for democracy? Would he not? I don't know. Okay. What's the future for JD Vance? Got that Two of Wands here. What's the future holding for JD Vance coming into this fall with this presidential election? Four of Coins, holding things close to the vest, holding on to your values. Maybe not holding on to your money, but holding on to your values as we get closer. Four of Cups. This is not what I signed up for. That Two of Swords, I think that's what that regression is that as you get closer to the election, you know, you're out there fighting for Trump or something along those lines. As we get closer to the election or post-election, it's like you're trying to protect yourself, and what you're finding is distasteful, what you're being asked to do more and more. You know, again, Trump eats people's souls around the periphery and works their way down. And JD Vance is trying to protect himself. He's out there stumping, trying to fight for Trump and get things done, but he's being told and say to do things that he doesn't want to do. And he has that's what that Two of Swords is. He's got a dilemma. What does he do going forward? Do you go full Trump, or do you protect yourself? In the past, you got the Seven of Cups. You know, he made the choice. He drank the Kool-Aid. And more Kool-Aid's being offered. He doesn't want it. He's trying to protect himself from this. He was offered the pot of gold, and he knows it comes with snakes and cups, but he took it anyways. Current situation, as we get to the election in the Tower, everything's collapsing around him. This is not good cards. You know, again, assuming that we all get out and vote, and like-minded people get out and vote, Trump is not going to get reelected, and the campaign is it's crashing down around him. Maybe it's the January 6th hearings that come out and more stuff comes out on Trump, but it's not working. The overarching energy is the Empress. At some point, JD Vance has to go into damage control because the campaign's not working out and he has to protect himself in his future, and because he's made a bad choice, and now he has to protect himself. Donald Trump, you know, it's like post-election, the election's been lost, and now Donald Trump's telling him that he has to go out there and say the election was stolen. And, you know, JD Vance has to sort of start considering, you know, what's in my best interest in the future. This is why we go from the Three of Wands to the Two of Wands, because he's regressing now. The lesson to be learned is the Page of Swords. He spy in the camp, not very good at this. He's being asked to do really basic, stupid stuff that's against his best interest. And maybe he realized he made a mistake back then. The outcome is the Lover's card. It looks like he sticks by his choices, though. Maybe he just feels like, you know, I can protect myself. I'll just do little things that Trump asks to stay in the good graces of MAGA. Something along those lines. It's a kind of an odd reading here. I'd love to tell you that he's going to fall on the side of democracy and not push on this. He's got a choice to make. And I guess that's what this is. Who's he going to show his loyalty to? Is that to the American people or to Donald Trump? And again, he's trying to protect himself and not do what's distasteful. And he's got the Empress card. He knows he needs to take care of himself. And we got the Lovers underneath there. So we can hope that he recognizes the toxicity of trying to undermine a free and fair election. I'm not convinced, though, that that's kind of the choice he has to make. That's his crossroads card, and that's what it is. That struggle between protecting what he's built up versus drinking deep from the cup of conspiracy theories. How about this? 10 years from now, how will JD Vance look upon his immediate post-election behavior between the election through the inauguration in 2024? How will he do that? Quick break to talk with my son on the phone. Where was I? Oh, yes. I think I was asking, how does future JD Vance from 10 years from now, look at himself now? How does JD Vance in 2034 look at JD Vance's decisions in 2024? This ought to be an interesting one. 4-carder. Well, there we go. Death card. Maybe it was the end of one cycle and the beginning of another cycle. JD Vance may go down swinging with Trump. He had the 9 of Coins. Things were set up nicely. Strength card. Sun card. There's that 2 of Wands again. Interesting. Which is the outcome card is now the underlying energy. So whatever choice JD Vance made, it brought the end of something. Now, if JD Vance shows, and here's how the reading goes. If JD Vance shows strength and kind of like stands up for the best of America and truth and justice, he'll bring an end to Donald Trump's shenanigans, and he won't support the election interference. That's on the high energy. Again, underneath is the 2 of Wands, the planning for the future. If, however, JD Vance goes down swinging, supporting Donald Trump, I believe that's going to bring the end of his political career. He made the choice on it, and he sacrificed things such that, if you're on the wrong side of history, everybody's going to know and remember it. You made the choice, you took the golden ticket, and you did that. I think all it's saying is, how will JD Vance do if and when Trump loses the election? That is entirely up to JD Vance. That decision hasn't been made yet, but he can go down a path where he shows his strength and support for democracy or not. This is going to be a spiritual lesson for JD Vance. Congratulations. Not more to throw on this one. This is going to be something that we'll have to revisit come November or so. Okay? So we'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.